Judy Gemstone, who was amazing in this.
Yep.
As soon as I saw her, I was like Sarah was like, okay, I'm gonna give this movie a shot because Sarah like loves the Gemstones. But as soon, she's like sucking up to Beverly D'Angelo, who's the grandmother. Also, Beverly D'Angelo is an amazing addition to a Christmas movie.
Yes, she
Um,
is.
all right, welcome back, everybody. Before we get into the next movie, I know that you were just right before we started recording. Alex had something to tell me, but I had something I wanted to like intro the show with. Because we're heading into Oscar season and award season,
True.
and so I've been watching some movies, and I just wanted to quickly mention the ones that I've been watching. I have two that I would recommend to you, Alex, but also I think our listeners might appreciate these as well.
All
So
right, what do you got?
I watched Jay Kelly. Have you seen it?
I have not.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? With
Mhm.
George Clooney.
Yeah.
Adams. I know people talk about Uncut Gems being like Adam Sandler's like Oscar worthy performance, and maybe it was. I haven't seen the movie. This movie
It,
is Oscar worthy for Adam Sandler.
okay, then in that case, Uncut Gems you'd think is fantastic.
Okay.
If that's the level of Adam Sandler you experience, because I've seen Uncut Gems. Oh shit, is it good?
No, I've
Like
heard it's good,
seriously, yeah.
but he's great in this. I would say he's the best part of this movie.
Okay.
George Clooney's always good, but he's not usually a standout for me. You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't feel like he's ever like wildly different, but he was good. But and I think he just got nominated for a Golden Globe for it. But ultimately, I think Adam Sandler is the MVP of that movie. I've seen, I think, three of the best supporting actor at the Golden Globe performances. Now I saw One Battle After Another, so that's Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, and now Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Um, they're three really amazing performances. So like I don't really want to pick one, but like none of them is like clearly inferior or clearly superior to me. They're
Okay.
all I would be happy with any of those three winning the Oscar if it gets to that point.
Okay.
I'm trying to look and see, make sure that that's all I've seen from that category. I also watched, I'm halfway done watching Train Dreams, also on Netflix. Uh,
Oh, okay.
um, to me, it is a really good performance so far, and it's a really interesting visual style. Um, have you
What's it
seen?
closest to, visual style wise?
So, okay, to answer that quick question, to answer that quickly, it's not in widescreen. It's in like
Oh.
4:3 or whatever.
Oh, it's four
Um,
three.
and
Oh.
that could be that they shot on IMAX. Like sometimes when they shoot, like some of those IMAX formats are squarer, more square.
Yeah,
Than
yeah.
so like they could have just been like, let's just preserve it and just. I don't know exactly where that is or what the thinking is there with that, but so there's that. It is. I would say that like you and I went and saw The Brutalist last year. There
Mm-hmm.
is some similarity. It's so. Have you seen? Do you know anything about Train Dreams?
Yeah.
So it takes place in like the 19 teens. It's about a logger, and I haven't finished the movie, so I don't know everything yet. But it's it's got like a subdued visual, like it's I would say subdued color palette. It's not an extreme color palette, but it is I think pretty striking visually in its own way, while like being so. I'm going to do a little
You're
math.
like, you're like, wait.
Do you remember? You remember I described Tree of Life a few weeks ago on
Yeah.
and how I hated it, but it's
Yeah.
visual. So this to me is like Train Dreams and Brutalist sensibilities mashed up, but so far it has a story and it's better than Tree of Life for me. But visually, it's not as stunning as either of those movies.
Okay.
So, but they're talking about Joel Edgerton winning or getting nominated for Best Lead Actor for that, which he did at the Golden Globes. So,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Let me really quickly look at. So, yeah, he was nominated. Okay, it's the only one. Oh, and Michael B. Jordan for Sinners of best dramatic performance by a male actor, a lead actor.
Mm,
Those are the only two I've seen in that category. They're up against Oscar Isaac for Frankenstein, Dwayne
okay.
Johnson for The Smashing Machine.
Did you
Spring.
see Smashing?
No, it looks good,
Okay.
but I haven't seen it. Uh, Jeremy Allen White. Did I say that for Springsteen?
No, you
And
did
then
not. But I really want to see Springsteen. Like that is way up there for me because I like Jeremy Allen White.
I
Now
like
I
him.
like him from watching The Bear, but
I like
I think
him, but I will say that I am after watching Walk Hard, music biopics have never quite hit for me since. Um,
oh,
and I've had
okay.
some major
Because that
problems.
was your height.
No, you know what Walk Hard is, right?
Yeah.
Not walking, not walk the line. Walk hard.
No, walk hard. Yeah.
It's
So is that one like the height for you? Is that why? Is
no,
it
it's a
because it's a
parody, and
joke? Right. That's what I'm saying. So like,
it's a parody, and everything that came before it, I can be like, okay, you got parodied. It's not your fault. You didn't know. Everything that's come after it, I'm like, how did you not watch Walk Hard and not do those things? And they
okay,
almost all do it. So like, you saw Bohemian Rhapsody.
yes.
Bohemian Rhapsody is 100, like it's almost infuriating when you've seen Walk Hard because you're like, Freddie Mercury's amazing, Queen's
Did you
amazing.
guys never pay attention to anything? Okay,
Yeah,
I can see that. All
like I
right.
wouldn't make a spy movie and then just basically make it Austin Powers. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't do that.
So you
Uh,
wouldn't, or okay. So do you think that's because the parodies are so good at poking fun, or because the real ones are so thinly veiled bad attempts at repeats? And that's why it's like so easy to be like, did you not watch that and
I
completely realize you made the same movie, but
I
it's not a comedy?
I think that the formula was so specific and clearly defined prior to Walk Hard.
Okay.
Walk Hard nailed it, and now everybody's like, like we got to make a Walk Hard, and there have been movies that have, I didn't see it, but I've heard great things about the movie with Heath Ledger and they all play Bob Dylan. It's not obviously not the Bob Dylan one that came out last year, which also looked that way to me. Like I was like,
Yeah.
why? Like why is? I know people loved that movie, but I was like, it looks like they're doing Bob Dylan Walk Hard now. Like and so I don't know that much about Bruce Springsteen compared to a lot of these other people. So the movie didn't look at, and I've heard that it's kind of pulled into a more specific time frame, which I also think helps. But I just am not into music biopics that I haven't heard like someone
D-
go, I don't usually like them, but this one sticks out.
okay. Okay. Do you believe that your enjoyment would be different if you were a big fan of the music artist? Like, would you watch it with a different lens? Because I'll give you an example. Val Kilmer's The Doors,
Hmm.
fantastic movie. Like,
Yeah,
seriously good. It's an Oliver Stone film. It was in the early 90s. Val Kilmer not only looks like him, but it was like
yeah,
genuinely good to me. But I'm
yeah,
also a big fan of The Doors.
right.
So,
So to
know,
me, Queen is probably the band that I am the biggest fan of all these ones that have had
okay.
biopics made about them,
Okay.
and I hate that movie. Like it's there's
Oh.
like the only scene that really like made me laugh was when Mike Myers is in it. Speaking of Austin Powers, but because of Wayne's World is why he's in it.
Sorry.
It's great.
Can you hear that?
I heard her for a second, but I don't now I hear her.
So Holly quit smoking like 12 days ago,
Hmm.
and she randomly told my smart girl to remind her every day how bad smoking is. So it's at 4:36 every day. I'm sorry, I completely stopped your shit.
That's okay.
Oh god.
What was I saying? Oh, so yeah, the scene with Mike Myers where he's like, uh, 6 minutes is so long, like that, and well, it's forever, and then Freddy says, if you think 6 minutes is forever, I pity your wife. That's the only thing that I really liked about that movie was that one line.
That
Um,
that isn't good. That isn't good
no,
at all.
no,
Oh
and it drove
no.
me crazy that it won. I mean, like I like Rami Malek. I'm not trying to knock him, but like the teeth seemed like over the top big. Like I don't feel like that was realistic, and I feel like his performance was within the script. Like he was fine, but I was really hoping Sacha Baron Cohen would play it because he had been in talks for years, and it would have been a
I
wildly
would have
different
almost,
movie.
yeah, I was about to say it would have been a wildly different film than Rami doing it. Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, so I liked that one, and I would say that maybe that made me more willing to watch it, and then I
Yeah.
was more frustrated once I saw it. Um, and I'll give some of these a
I don't like
chance.
to watch them either. The Val Kilmer movie, I watched The Doors because I was a big fan of The Doors first.
Mhm.
And that started with me finding my dad's Dark Side of the Moon Pink Floyd record and
Yep.
playing that and being like, okay, other bands from this era. And then The Doors had always been that perfect beatnik poet, flower child rock 1960s, like, but darker kind of layer that
Hmm.
I like about that era. And then I see The Doors, and it's this smoky, deep, dark, not exactly pleasurable in the general scheme of things movie about
Yeah.
Jim Morrison. So for me, like watching that was because I already have this big fandom, but that's like you mentioned, it's the only one I've ever liked. And you even liked Queen or like Queen, and
Hmm.
then Bohemian Rhapsody was meh. So
Yeah. Okay. So sorry. Back to Golden Globes for a second. Um, in Best Actor, that's another one that Jay Kelly gets a nomination for in Golden Globes. Best Actor Comedy. Uh,
but Jay Kelly
it's
for
George
George or
Clooney,
not
and it's
Adam?
a well, he's supporting.
Oh, fair.
So it's him against Leonardo DiCaprio are the only two I've seen in the category. If I had to vote, I'm going Leonardo
I'm
DiCaprio.
going Leo. Yeah.
Um, also have Jesse Plemons from Begonia, which I've heard is his best performance ever. Which,
I keep seeing promos for
yeah,
Begonia. I already put it on our list. It's
yeah,
already on our list.
a career high for him means that I probably want that to win if I see it. But
Fair. Yeah.
um, Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme, which I've heard is like the front runner right now to win Best
I,
Actor.
mm,
He looks
mm.
fine.
Yeah, right,
Eth-
right. It looks fine.
Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon, and
Okay.
Lee Byung Hun for No Other Choice.
I have
Um,
not seen anything about that film.
no, it's probably there's a lot of foreign language this year at the Golden Globes, which
Oh,
A is great and B is makes sense because it's the Hollywood Foreign Press.
yeah. Good point.
Um, so anyway, this is the category I wanted to get to, which was Best Supporting Actor in any motion picture. So we got Adam Sandler, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn from those two movies I mentioned. Uh,
Benicio del Toro is a big favorite of mine already,
oh yeah,
but I mean, Leonardo in that movie. I have not seen it. I want to so bad. It looks so fantastic. Like,
it's
I mean,
amazing.
genuinely fantastic.
It's my number one movie still after everything I've seen this year.
Yeah.
Um, Benicio del Toro has a slight edge for me over Sean
Okay.
Penn. Not because Sean Penn's performance isn't good. Sometimes this is just like the downside, but Benicio. So Leonardo DiCaprio is who I think I would be in the movie, and Benicio del Toro is who I would want to be. Like
You're
Leonardo
putting
DiCaprio.
yourself in the actors already. I love
No,
it.
no, no. I don't mean acting wise. I mean like if you were living out that movie,
Oh,
Leonardo
okay. Okay.
DiCaprio is a bumbling idiot to some extent. Like he knows what's going on, but he's not able to like coherently like function. under this pressure, and so like he is kind of an audience surrogate in that way of like
Oh, fair. Okay.
he's like where we all are, but like Benicio del Toro is on the right side, cool, calm, collected, and just like literally so fucking cool the whole movie. You're like
I
he's a small part, but like every time he's on screen, like he gives off the vibe that he's the same as Leonardo DiCaprio. Like it would be easy for like another character to be like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't know what's going on, while he knows everything that's going on. It's an excellent
yeah.
performance. Um,
So my first exposure to him, where I recognized an actor and like a favorite for me,
Give me
was
the keys.
Snatch.
Oh,
Dude, Snatch. Him and Snatch is
I need to rewatch. I need to watch Snatch. I've seen parts of it, but I've never seen the whole thing.
it is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the weirdo that quotes that to my wife,
I love.
and then my wife's like, "Wait, what movie?" I'm like, "No, 5 minutes Turkish." She's like, "What?"
I thought you were gonna say so. Benicio del Toro, the movie that really stuck out for me as a career maker was, and it was for several people, but for him too was The Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes, that was very
Give me the
that
keys.
was another one I was
going.
yeah, right. Like that was another one that a lot of people like that was their first big exposure.
Yeah,
But Snatch for me, I love a Guy Ritchie film.
I
know
love
it's
Guy Ritchie. Yeah,
yeah. So him making Snatch was when he was still married to Madonna. It was different
no,
films
it was
before.
Pre-Madonna.
Oh, sorry, Pre-Madonna. It was before he married
Pre-Madonna.
Madonna. It is its own kind of thing because when he made Revolver, it was after he was married to Madonna, and it's not even the same movie. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
let's get on to topic.
You mean the movie that we're supposed to be talking about? That one?
Yeah,
That one?
but I don't want to do a whole episode dedicated to award season, but I do want to like just keep the audience updated with like what I'm seeing. And
I really don't think that us doing just an episode of recaps after the awards come out, like I think that's a fantastic use of our time. I really do.
But also award season is going to be during Black History Month, and I know that we both are really excited about doing that. I don't want to divert from that.
I am
So,
because those are movies that I would have never watched as a kid, so
right.
I'm only watching them as now a liberal adult. So that's good point.
So so I'm not like I also think like there's so many movies that getting into them is a pain in the ass every year. But like what I'm seeing, I just figure I'll give quick updates at the start of every episode.
At the top of the episode, we're talking about not the topic. Violent Night. So, Violent Night is a is it Die Hard Santa, or is it a sincere Christmas movie with a blood-soaked sweater?
It clearly is supposed to be. It's clearly supposed to be Die Hard, Santa, but it's more than that in a lot of ways. And so one thing it's more than that is that the little kid, because you had to have a little kid in a Santa movie, even if it's a rated R action packed swearing, you need a child to make the Santa thing work, right? So there's this kid, and the kid's great. I love the kid in this.
Oh yeah, the little girl is fantastic.
So this movie is essentially, it's very structurally similar to Die Hard. But
I don't see them even in the same vein. I don't.
But they clearly were trying to, because at one point when he's pulling DVDs to throw at the guy out of his bag, and he says Die Hard on Blu-ray or whatever.
Die Hard's one of them, I know.
But there is a quick, I would say like 5 to 10 minutes in the middle where he's kind of like working his way through, and the little kid Home Alone's it, but it's like Home Alone.
She even references it directly.
But it's Home Alone with real stakes, unlike Home Alone, where like they're like, and like things that they wouldn't survive. Like there's a moment. There's a moment where it's very Home Alone-ish. They're like going up the stairs, and there's a nail.
Like the gags the nail.
There's a nail in the attic ladder steps, and he goes, "Hey kid, if you're gonna try to trap or trick,
you gotta
have a booby trap, you gotta like hide it," and then something hits him, and Oh no, the step breaks under, and his chin lands, and
Right
we see
in.
the
Yep.
nail go right through his mouth,
Right through.
and it was
And then
like,
she steps on his head to go over him to
yeah,
get into the attic.
yeah.
So
So
this is why. Okay, so I'm different than you. I don't think it's Die Hard Santa for the same reason that Die Hard violence was like realistic violence. I mean, more guns, more bullets, more like big explosions. To me, Die Hard is much more of that realistic 90s violence,
sure.
whereas this is that like almost comedic slapstick.
Almost like
And then
Tarantino level.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then mixed with like such grotesque. Perfect example. My wife, if you all remember our episode about Hard Eyes, my wife could not even watch me back up that scene in the van with the tire iron through the dude's head, right? But she'll want me to rewind it from Violent Night over and over and over again because the presentation of the violence, even though it's just as gory, is different.
Yeah.
Okay, Hard Eyes is a little more gory, but I mean, like, I'm gonna say this is sincere Christmas movie, Bloodstained Sweater, because if you remove the violence and have like just bad guys, it sort of plays into that classic I'm the good dude but I'm not a villain. But because Nickamund has become this entire character that Santa is in his past life as a Viking dude who completely destroyed people with a namesake weapon. Like it, that's why I don't think it's Die Hard.
Logan,
I don't.
we were driving somewhere the other day, and there was like a sledgehammer on the side of the road or something.
Did
And
he
I
say
said,
Skull Crusher?
and I said, "Oh, it's Skullbreaker," and Logan goes, "It's Skull Crusher."
I love it. Oh
um,
God, your little kid is such a smart ass. He's my favorite.
so I'll
So
say,
yeah, so
yeah,
go.
I was gonna say like this. So just to we don't have to do the full recap of like every beat by beat, but like I
Yeah,
think to give you an idea, audience, why we think it's Die Hardish, and it's definitely influenced by Die Hard. I
it
think
is.
that
It
that's
is intentional.
undeniable.
It's intentional.
Um,
Yeah,
Santa is like pretty what do you call it, like jaded. It's a jaded Santa
it is
who
a jaded
is
Santa. That's true.
who's maybe done with everything. He thinks people are selfish, especially kids, and he's
Oh, he
pretty
talks about
done.
it directly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's pretty done with the whole thing.
yeah.
Ends up he's dropping off some stuff at the other character's house
Hmm.
when he accidentally, like, he's having like a crisis of faith. He also has like a crisis of magic, so he can't go up the chimney. And
Yep.
then at one point it's a rich family getting robbed by this like team of like mercenary robbers.
Yep.
And while he's there, one of them accidentally shoots through the roof and scares the reindeer away, so now he can no longer leave. So
Yep.
he's literally he's stuck in this giant building with these
Yeah.
terrorists, like similar to the terrorists in Die Hard, and he has to
Okay.
like
Fair.
sneak
Fair.
his way through, killing off one or two here. I forget. There isn't quite the part where the guy's like tied up or whatever, and he's got like written on him like in Die Hard. But like, there's a lot of stuff like that where it's
There is.
like,
There is.
I'm coming for you. There isn't the
Yeah.
surprise element that you might expect. It's more of a, I'm gonna come get you. I know you know I'm coming, but you don't know how I'm coming or where I'm coming from.
No, and that specific instance has multiple references throughout the
Mhm.
film when he gets the radio from the girl and then tunes to the same frequency and starts talking to her that
Yeah.
way. And there's the same kind of situation when Scrooge, played by John Leguizamo,
Scrooge. So first of all the bad guys have code names that are bad Christmas
they
people.
are fantastic.
Krampus, Scrooge.
But then some of them, Candy Cane.
Yeah.
Like some of the names are so bad, and I enjoyed Gingerbread. And I like how the dude says, "Do we have to keep using these stupid names this whole time?" He's
Peppermint,
like,
sugar plum, jingle,
right. He's
tinsel.
like, yeah. Oh, tinsel. Yeah. So my pre-production is that because those family lighthearted connection kind of moments are never so heavy-handed that it feels like an action movie with a family
Hmm.
overlay. But then at the same time, my pre-production notes weren't it's Die Hard with a Christmas theme more directly, because I never thought that I was being told this is sweet, this is heartfelt, this is happy. Like it never felt underhanded or pushed on me. So that's why my take was sincere Christmas movie with violence. But I also
Sure.
didn't see Die Hard when I was young. So like the stuff you're referencing, I don't have an immediate memory of it the same.
Yeah. Um, Logan afterwards was like, "Can we watch Die Hard?" I'm like, "I don't remember, honestly. I want he watched this with me, and so maybe it's not that much worse. I don't remember, but
Just overall, because this won't ruin our later stuff, did he like it?
oh, he liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My wife thinks it's fantastic. So yeah, fair. Fair
yeah.
enough.
I think that this movie did a pretty good job of balancing the subgenre with the Christmas theme, like you mentioned.
Yes.
Because I think that at no point was I like, like we. I've seen lots of movies that are Christmas that are non kid friendly Christmas movies, right?
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen Bad Santa, I've seen and
Bad Santa's a
kind of
favorite of mine too.
talking about last week about like how like this is cynical. There's no like good happy ending. I knew that even a movie like this would have some kind of arc like that,
Yeah.
just within the framework of an action movie, of a
Yeah.
rated R violent swearing action movie. And I think it did a good job of that. It earned most of that. And it was really fun. Like overall, this was a fun movie to watch. Like,
Yes.
um, I was laughing really hard at some parts.
Oh yeah.
It was good. Like some of the parts, like the joke parts, but some of the parts where it was like, um, like that like shock laugh when like a violent thing happens, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
a lot of that. Like
Yep.
there was a lot of it, and they did. Um, yeah, I don't. It just was. I was pretty enthralled with it the entire time.
Hmm.
Um, and like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what my favorite joke was right off the bat, which is like so this family, their grandmother is the rich one. She's crazy rich, and they all suck up to her. And Judy Gemstone, who was amazing in this.
Yep.
As soon as I saw her, I was like Sarah was like, okay, I'm gonna give this movie a shot because Sarah like loves the gemstones. But as soon she's like sucking up to Beverly D'Angelo, who's the grandmother. Also, Beverly D'Angelo is an amazing addition to a Christmas movie.
Yes, she
Um,
is. Yes, she
and
is.
yeah, there like that was the thing is it was that's where you have it's similar to any other kind of genre mash. Like when we talked about Hard Eyes, or when I look at like the new Star Wars projects, it's like you have to balance the one with the other. You have to be
Yeah.
loving of both. You can't be like, this is an action movie and I don't love Christmas movies, or I
Same.
love Christmas movies and I don't love action
Dude, the
movies.
only
You
Christmas
have
movie I
to.
like is Charlie Brown.
Right, right.
Like the only Christmas movie I like is so detached from
Yeah.
reality
So
that that's
yeah.
what I want to watch, you know?
So you have to have that love for both. And like I think
Yeah.
when you look at something like, and I've been using this example for Star Wars a lot because in the last few years, when you look at Andor is this show about revolution and this amazing political allegory, and it's done incredibly, and it happens to be Star Wars made by people who love Star Wars.
That is exactly how I've
And
described it to people. It's not a
mhm,
Star Wars show. It's all of these other real serious
yeah,
things with like Star Wars sprinkled all in it. I
exactly.
describe it the exact same way to people.
Skeleton Crew. Did you watch Skeleton Crew?
Yes.
It's Goonies. They're like, we love Goonies. We want to see
Hmm.
something like in the vein of Goonies. That's the number one priority. And then we're going to sprinkle the Star Wars love over it.
Yeah.
And this movie is similar, trying to mix match that with not horror and Valentine's. Instead, it's action and Christmas, and it does that blend well of like, there's the tip of the hat of all the Christmas stuff. Not to mention Die Hard being considered a Christmas movie is like its own little tip of the hat, but like Beverly
Yeah.
D'Angelo being in there and having Christmas is a good time for this particular heist to go down for these criminals, but
True.
they don't. But they embrace the Christmasness of it by saying like, "Oh, we're going to use our code names. We're going to give ourselves Christmas code names," and it's not just like
and
a
I love how Scrooge is like, no, you're gonna use them because I hate Christmas so
mhm,
much. Fuck this holiday. You're calling
yep,
yourself gingerbread for my entertainment.
yep. And so like I think he did a really great job of balancing those things,
Yes,
which is
I
why
agree.
which is keeps that's what you need to do to keep someone invested. Like there's a lots of I have some
To keep
flaws.
cynics like us
Right.
invested, yeah, you do. You
I
do.
have I have some flaws that we'll talk to when we get to
I do too.
studio notes. Like it's not a perfect movie, but in order to
Mm-mm.
keep me engaged and keep me wanting to watch, you have to you have to respect both genres, and it does.
And it
Um,
does, yeah.
it does a pretty good job of respecting both genres and blending those two. Um, I will say my favorite joke of the entire movie. Oh, I was getting to this. That's where I
You were sorry, yeah.
veered off. So Judy Gemstone, she's one of the kids of Beverly D'Angelo, and they're both sucking up, and um, the other kid, his daughter's name is Gertrude, and they're like, you named her
You named
after she's named after you, grandma, or whatever,
I
and
know.
and she's like, well, you named your kid Bertrude.
Gertrude.
And she's like, I couldn't. That I wasn't fortunate enough to have a daughter. And the kid's like,
Yeah.
hey.
Right. Oh my god. You named your kid Bertrude.
It was my that was my I was
She's so
laughing so
deadpan
hard.
about it. It was
Yeah,
that's one of Holly's
she is
favorite lines.
amazing. Edie Patterson, who is
Yes.
Judy
Yes.
Gemstone. She is. Did you ever watch Vice Principals?
No.
That was the first Danny McBride show she was on, and she is so good at playing psycho. She's just like at like that like fun psycho that like you wouldn't want to engage with in real life, but on a show she's hilarious.
I mean, I want to drink with her.
I want to rewatch Knives Out because I don't think I really knew who she was when I watched it
Oh,
as a kid.
Knives Out is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
Also,
loved watching that.
there was Knives Out was cool because it was. I'll go into a couple things. So Knives Out was shot within walking. Some of Knives Out was shot within walking distance of where I grew up.
Oh
Like
wow.
there's a round building that they go to investigate in the movie at one point. That was the DMV right near my house. Like literally, it is a long
Wow.
walk, but I could walk there. It was like a mile and a half. And
Oh.
then I was talking about Die Hard. Die Hard 2. I worked at Die Hard 2 shot at an airport. It
Mhm.
was right after Denver Airport had been built, and they had shut down the old airport. That is gone now. I worked in the shopping plaza that exists there, so it's weird that like all these movies keep coming up that
Okay. Interesting. I spent a lot of my childhood in Connecticut, where this fictitious family is from.
Oh yeah.
And so many times throughout this movie, Holly would say, did your grandparents have a guard shack with a gate? And I remember saying, guard shack, yes, gate, no. But then the
Oh,
house that they moved to, that had a guard shack and a gate. And she's like, are you serious?
I want to
I'm
talk
like,
about something that you just brought up that make that about the movie that is really got me. It's really subtle, so I wouldn't blame the audience or you for not getting it. The movie's audience, not our audience. They haven't necessarily seen the movie. When Santa goes to the guard shack and he finds the guard dead, he's sad because he knew that was a boy on the nice list. The way he reacts,
right.
that
Yes.
had to be a kid on the nice list. He's like, "Oh, Bob," or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Like,
He has genuine sadness about it.
yeah,
And
and it's because he knows that
yeah,
was a good guy and he was on the nice list. Like, it
yeah.
was very clear.
It
Um,
was. And for me, the other side is that speaking of the nice and naughty list, when Santa Claus or Nickamoond opens his list, I liked pausing it and reading all of the good or bad things that specific person did. So
Hmm.
there'd be so many moments where like he'd open it for Scrooge and it'd be like killed his friend, stole from his family, insulted his mother. Like it
Yeah.
was such like just genuinely bad things people would do. And he'd open and be like, oh shit. Like when the kill squad was coming, he'd open the list and just the names would start reading off and he'd be like, oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
you, you,
I back to last week, I mentioned that one of my pet peeves in Christmas movies, that pet peeve is for Christmas movies for children, and this is not for children. It
Agreed. Okay.
it does kind of skirt the line, so there's the dad of the little girl at one point is like, the little girl's like, I've been talking to Santa, he's gonna come and get you, and like they're like, who you been talking to? And the
He's like,
dad
nobody,
thinks the
nobody. It's not real.
dad genuinely thinks she's just talking to like an invisible
Yes.
friend Santa.
Yep.
And he's like, he's kind of mean, but in a way of like, I don't want you to get killed, like this,
Yeah.
like it 100% understandable why it happens that way in the movie. And
That's
then
true.
when she's talking to Santa about it, he goes, yeah, because adults like
Adults
lose
don't
their
understand it.
ability to understand it. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that is like a good, like,
It was almost
if
like a
you let
fair
your,
come to it was a fair
yeah,
come to earth kind of way
yeah.
to touch it. Yeah, that's true.
So
I'll agree with that.
I really liked that. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So there was for production wise, there were so many moments when there was like a clean transition from action to to heartfelt, but without like a full scene change. So there were moments when David Harbour played, Nickamoon the Red, but then also Santa. And this was even before like the girl started to direct him,
Hmm.
when they would come into the building when he was in hiding and he got out Skull Crusher. There were even moments before when there would be some like violent touches, mostly when he was fighting Tinsel. That
Yeah.
was the first big challenge for me when this film challenged its ability to do the action and heartfelt, or action and like Christmas movie, was when he was fighting Tinsel. And like he puts Christmas lights around, Tinsel wraps Christmas lights around Santa's neck, and I'm like, it's not gonna hurt you. That's nearly slapstick. And then when Tinsel gets choked out by Santa, it's like, oh no, that would freaking hurt, because David Harbour's hands are the size of footballs. So
Hmm.
there were kind of moments that balance both. And the question that I was really asking is, does the production side that makes the action and the writing side still belong in the same movie? And I say, yes, it does. Because my criticisms of this movie don't have anything to do with like quality, but more fun and watchability, because I understood that's why this film existed.
Hmm.
And that's really why Pat Casey and Josh Miller, who were the writers, they kind of had the right idea the whole time of what they needed to make and what would sell to the audience that's going to watch this, coming off of David Harbour's fame with Stranger Things.
Hmm.
So there was very much going to be that tie over audience that needs to see Hopper as this big badass. And it fit, but it was never like Dave. It was never Hopper as Santa. It was Santa as like
Oh
a
yeah.
real character played by David Harbour. So
I.
I appreciated how it didn't like just try to take Hopper and make him Santa, which would have
Mhm.
been ultimately boring and I don't think have lasting quality.
I think that the David Harbour as Santa is perfect. I think I have a couple of problems with some of the magical abilities, but of characterization wise, I think spot on perfect. Like, I liked the Norse stuff. I liked the Crisis of Faith. I liked the balance between the darkness and the like hopeful, and the regret about how he was a bad person when he was Nickamund the Red, and all of like I characterization wise and performance wise, 10 out of 10. I have some issues with, like I said, the magic side. There's a couple of things that I would adjust, and I will get into that when we get to.
All right. So for me, it's where do the tone shifts happen? And I discussed this in production, but is it on cut on a line or on a sound cue? For me, it was definitely. I'm going to say on a line because in the time allotted for this film, it had to ramp up quickly to be able to resolve and then come to an end because you had both the violent attack on the family and this fractured love of Trudy's parents. Like you had to have those two things both come to an end for
Yeah.
this film to appeal to a more simple-minded holiday audience. And no, folks listening, I'm not saying you are simple-minded. I'm saying who this film is made for. It
Mm-hmm.
needs to appeal to a larger audience.
Yeah.
So both of those things had to pretty much come to end at the same time. So I think in production wise, it was somewhat on a line, but not in a disjointed fashion. That's what I'll say
Yeah.
for production.
Yeah. No, we're in editing now, though.
Editing, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what I will say is, I kind of mentioned everything that I think it got right. It did all the balancing and stuff really well. The things
I
that
want to hear your criticism because I'm probably going to agree with it.
so I have one like nitpicky thing, which is that, and then I have a couple of things that I think are bigger, but they're not, they're not like, oh fuck you, you made a terrible, so the little nitpicky thing is there's the scene where Santa is trying to just get out. Like he's trying to just like, I just want to get on with my everything, and I was fine with that attitude. The scene is he is outside. He sees through the clear spot in the fog of the window the little kid's face, right? And
I liked that.
I liked it a lot. And then he
It was
sees
good, like framing, like right away, kid. Like
that's not my complaint is. So then he pulls the thing out of his pocket and then changes his mind. It does that. It should have been reversed. It should have been she's on the good list, and then he should have seen her face. And I just think it would have hit harder if it was like, because like
okay.
seeing somebody on a list on paper is like, yeah, that's nice. Seeing the face,
Even if it's
is like,
magic paper.
yeah, but seeing like the face is like, like if you described if I described Holly for you on paper, you'd be like, okay, yeah, but you see her, and like same thing with Sarah for me or Logan. Like there is a
No,
difference in that.
dude, I
like,
completely agree with you.
so I just think
Okay.
that's that, and that, like I said, it's like a nitpicky thing. But if they just flip flopped those two shots, essentially, that part would have been spot on for me.
So you would have preferred the audience seeing his realization that she's good, and then her. Okay.
And then he
Okay.
sees her sweet, innocent face
framed in the frost on that window. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. It's
Okay.
just literally a matter of editing for that. Like it's the most editing thing we've ever talked about on this episode.
Specifically.
This
No. I can agree with that. Okay.
So that's just like a tiny nitpick. So then let's get into my things that are a little bit bigger. So I think that Santa's powers are like they're really weirdly inconsistent, and while they don't do enough to establish, so I think they could easily have fixed this with, they do the nose thing to try to go up this, and it's like and it's not working to go up the chimney. So we're seeing that he's struggling kind of, but like there isn't enough of a connection between that and like the fact that like he's a magic guy who's lived thousands of years, but he's afraid of getting stabbed and getting shot. Like to me,
okay, fair.
Like you could easily fix that in like by like showing before the struggle. Maybe he's imperfect or whatever. There's other ways there's just little ways of doing it within like a second to be like his powers are on the fritz. and that includes his vulnerability essentially.
No, I can
Um,
agree with that because with 112-minute runtime,
yeah.
you could have more effectively like
Yeah.
shown those inadequacies or
Mhm.
those reductions in his magic abilities and
Mhm.
got this down to like 90 minutes and
You could have
like
even, yeah,
yeah, okay,
you could have
okay,
had
I can see
a
that.
momentary flashback of him as a Santa falling off the roof and like just shaking it off or
Because
something.
we
Easy.
only had one history flashback necessarily, and that was him as Nickamund,
Yeah.
the Red. And I'll admit that entire beat or that entire story narrative was so divided. It felt
Mhm.
like it was only to give the hammer a name.
Mhm.
I'll admit that.
I
I
love
will admit it felt like I like it,
I
but
love
it
the
felt like it just
backstory.
had to.
Yeah, I love the
This is
Nickamond part. If
I do too.
you add a scene where Nickamond becomes Santa, like as part of the
I wanted to
flashback,
see that. I
and
wanted to see
that
that.
could be where like he goes from being a human to being this immortal, and
Yeah.
in like he's in the
Okay.
he's coming out of battle or whatever, and whatever happens, you give him the magic powers, and all of a sudden like his scars heal magically or something. You're like, I'm fixed, like and then
Yeah.
to show him going and like then you're fine, you're perfect. So
Yeah.
that's just one little thing. So then the other thing is I love John Leguizamo, and I think he
I
does
I
excellent.
do too. Yes.
I think that his monologue was so expositiony, and we have these great
I didn't like it.
flashbacks. We have these great flashbacks for Nickamond, even though they're short. They have great. You could easily have had.
He needed some.
You could have had a John Leguizamo character flashback,
Yeah.
and
I
even
almost needed it.
Show what Santa was doing that night. Like something like that would have been a better way of doing it than.
Tie them
And
together
that
a little
way, when
better.
he goes, what was he? I forget what his name was, James or something. And he's like Jimmy or James, and he's like, you know my
Jesse
name.
Martinez, I think.
So
When he
okay,
looks up a list, that's when he actually got a name.
yeah, okay,
And what's frustrating is I expected the subtitles to switch his name at that point so I
yeah,
could make a better visual memory of it, but it didn't. It
yeah.
always called him Scrooge, and I'm like, God darn it! So I had to like
But
rewind it to find his name. He's
right.
Martinez. That's what I remember.
But if they'd shown that instead of just him monologuing, they could have gotten rid of that awkward expositiony that most people
Yeah,
don't like, and you could have had a moment so that the callback could have been better. Like when he calls them, he could have said, I
fair.
delivered or you could have seen the package sitting there after he's been arrested or whatever, and like the package was there that he wanted, but he didn't get to get
Yeah,
it because he went to jail or whatever the case may be.
fair. Yeah,
Like there,
because that whole final scene with his monologue, he goes up a chimney and rips his head off
mhm.
because he gets his powers back. He touches his nose and he drags Scrooge through the chimney.
That was one of the parts
Discards.
where I like shock laughed at the
Yeah, me
thing, and
too. And then he
Sarah
just
wasn't really paying
discards his
attention
headless
anymore.
body.
Yeah,
And then he gets shot by the betrayed. Well, actually, sorry,
yeah,
Scrooge gets betrayed by his military leader. But anyway, so
yeah.
so, so no, you're right. There were times where Scrooge's story wasn't fleshed out enough
Hmm.
for me to better buy into him being as bad as he is, other than just an ill, upset person that
Hmm.
doesn't like Christmas.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I would have even enjoyed little sprinklings of his cruise stories. So
Hmm.
why or how did he end up with
Oh yeah,
gingerbread, tinsel, candy cane, and like I would have almost rather
yeah.
hear little things about that the way we did in Ratatouille, as opposed to just David
Yep.
Harbour being Viking angry violent dude Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And then more importantly, disenfranchised angry Hispanic man, disenfranchised angry Hispanic man. Like he didn't
Yeah.
have the childhood innocence that turned into. And alongside Trudy's character, that would have been a better editing arc for them both to have consistency with Trudy going from not believing, believing violence, believing resolution, and then have Scrooge do the same thing, but he gets his head ripped off up a chimney. Like that would have
Yeah.
been interesting. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that if because Santa at one point does kind of say like, oh, the two henchmen that are there, which I forget who's who. He's like, you know, Billy, you wanted this. I'm sorry. Stacy, you wanted that. I'm, like those I was fine with.
Yeah.
And they would have worked better if we had seen less of that monologue. And that monologue, like you
Yeah.
said, could have been better that could have been better spent that having him explain the crew or something like that.
Yeah. And then also the explaining of the crew, but then that would also tie to each of the characters having a reason they're so in disgust about following Scrooge to pull off this heist of some random wealthy woman that took money from the US government as a payoff,
Mm-hmm.
and has her son trying to double cross her, which is almost not touched on enough because
Yes, I mean
he's like this super nice guy.
I do love. Well, he is in the moment, but like you can
Yeah.
also. But his wife is upset with him because he's constantly trying to get the money. His sister's
Yeah.
like, "You're always sucking up too. Like, what's different?" And I liked that part.
No, fair enough.
I also liked that when his mother, when they like are getting walked outside to go find the money, his mother's like, "I get it. This is what we do in this family. We backstab each other. I'm kind of proud of you." Like, I loved that part.
I get it. No. I like that. And then also the idea that this film had so many callbacks to Bad Santa, to A Christmas Story, to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, to the Home Alone series. There are so many callbacks. It was clear who this film appealed to as far as a generation.
Yeah, there was also for us, because I was 10 or so when the Santa Claus came out, but
Mhm.
Tim Allen Santa Claus, when he's tied up and they're trying to figure out who he is, he gives very similar answer to Tim Allen in interrogation when he's like Popo
Oh.
Gijo, Papa Noel.
Oh,
He
you're
does
right. Okay.
it's a different delivery, but it's very similar vocabulary.
What do
Like
they
he's just like,
call
I'm just gonna
you?
list
Yep.
the names. And so I took that as like as another, like, the kids who watched the Santa Claus movie
Fair.
are adults now who are potentially going to love this movie. So
Yeah, this is also so much better than the Tim Allen Santa Claus films. Sorry, like miles better.
okay, I
No,
think
no,
the
no.
first Tim Allen Santa Claus, and I'm not a huge Tim Allen fan, but the first
I am
Tim
not
Allen
either.
Santa Claus is a banger. I
Okay.
think it's a good movie.
In comparison to the others, yes. In comparison to the
And I
others,
didn't
yes.
see the TV show, but I've seen the original trilogy of Santa Claus movies, and the first one is great.
In comparison to the others, yes, it is the better of the three. They should have stopped at one. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Only one of us can be right, and it's not you. We can move on.
I get to be right sometimes.
It's not even believable when I try to act like that. So for me, this is if we zoom out and talk about the movie from like our fake chair, right? We look at Violent Night. It's a Christmas action film, but at the same time, what actually makes it repeatable, or at least repeatable for me, is that it actively plays the carnage and the balance of the family narrative together in a way that never felt pandering or soft, like soft as in it had to be delicate with me. It was just, here's a dude losing his entire limb or having a star stabbed into his eyeball and then plugging it in, which was one of my favorite ones.
Yes.
And
that was one of the ones where I was like, I maybe made a mistake letting Logan watch it.
and I like how casually Santa Claus is just talking on the radio while the body steams away in front of him. Just passed away, just
your friend is
there's
dead.
some really bad guys here. What?
Your friend, when he was talking to the other guy, like, your friend is dead.
Your friend is dead.
Um,
So that's why for me, it is not as much of a novelty. It's a genuine, repeatable movie, which is
yeah.
again why for fun and watchability, it's one of my higher ratings. And like
Hmm.
you, there's so many more things that could have increased it. Is why my editing
Yeah.
quality is a little low.
I would say I think that this movie is good enough that if you had just tweaked those couple of things, it would be. I don't think this movie is going to be remembered for very long. Unfortunately, like it's already 2 years
Decade maybe.
ago,
Yeah.
and I think that it's not going to have the staying power. But I think if you would
It
just
also
like
isn't easy to
genuinely,
show on television. That's
no, but
that's going to unfortunately be a big side of this. Is all these
yeah,
other Christmas movies can
true.
easily be repeated on television. This is
Except that like
not going
TV
to
is
have
not a
that.
thing anymore, like the way it was 30 years ago. So like
Fair. We're showing our
um
age, but at the same time, folks are not going to go buy this the same way. Folks are not going to
right,
go because
right,
another thing with the streaming era is the popular stuff is what gets monetized,
true,
and you have to purchase it during its popular season. Whereas television is the exact opposite, because to get you to watch the advertising that they get to charge a premium for,
yeah,
the networks put on the popular films that have to get cut down and edited for time or content. Whereas
yeah,
streaming is the exact opposite, because the streaming platform is making immediate revenue on you buying the Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, whatever movie.
mhm,
They're going to charge you for it, and you and I have seen this. They're going to charge you for it when it's the in season, but then offer it for free on January 10th.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it's not going to have the
Yeah,
same staying power. I agree with that reason. I do.
and I think that like I also just think like this would have that cult classic feel that would have slowly built if you got those couple things tweaked. Like I'm looking on IMDb, it's a 6.7, which is not a bad rating anymore. Like people are so fin. If it's not The Godfather or Shawshank or one of
It's not
those,
above a
like
nine. It's not above an
it's
8 or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so little is above a 7 now. So 6.7 is not that bad.
It's not.
And
And Violent Night on Letterbox is 3 out of 5,
yeah,
with
so I
with
think
with the
like
bulk of the ratings in the 3 range, like a
I think
large percentage of them.
you fix the John Leguizamo part that I talked about. You make that like moment where he and that's so small, but I think it would hook people. And then you also like just explain his power, because I'm thinking the way that people get nitpicky, right? And they're like, you're like,
Yeah.
why is that a big problem? But like that is the way people think, and I think that those kind of things could have just made it just. I really do think like you make those few changes and this movie is more popular 5 years later than it was upon release. Like
Yeah.
not huge. I
That's
don't think
what's
this is ever going to
right.
be. This is never going to be Christmas Vacation. This is never going to be It's a Wonderful Life. But this could
I
be a
in
sleeper.
modern classics, yeah, as a sleeper in modern classics, this is not going to outplay Santa Claus, for example. It's not going to outplay those other much older films, but is it going to last longer than the stuff that was made this year or next year? Sure. But you're right. I think in a decade, this is going to start to trail off a little by year 7. I do. And you're right. Those small things are what make a film more enjoyable on the fifth, sixth, and seventh viewing,
Yeah.
as opposed to I'm going to watch Charlie Brown forever. But
Yeah.
again, that's my big childhood hit. This is not a childhood movie for me. In fact, it's not.
Right.
It shouldn't be anybody's childhood movie.
So I do want to read you a piece of trivia that I just pulled up the trivia while we were talking. And this just makes me want to go watch it again. Uh,
I want to hear it.
Morgan Steele, who you and I didn't get to really to talk about, but we can talk about in a second, is based on Mark Wahlberg. Like Mark Wahlberg, Steele stars in several films about the military, and he says he could have stopped the hijackers on 9/11 had he been aboard the plane, a claim
He
Wahlberg
does say
made
that.
and apologized for. And so Morgan Steele is this like he's Judy Gemstone's boyfriend, and
Yep.
he is like he's an actor, and he's like he. It's funny because he has a moment where you're like,
Actor.
oh shit, like like it seems like he's a fairly big deal based on the way he's talking about it, in parts of Asia. We visited parts of Asia.
We visited parts of Asia, and they couldn't leave him alone. People were asking for his picture and his
Yeah.
autograph.
I also loved, so like he's just a ridiculous character, but he's so great in it. I loved when
That is
when
true.
he's like when one of the bad guys is making them all open presents. I can't remember if it was Scrooge or if it was Krampus. Who Krampus is hilarious as well, by the
Krampus
way.
is hilarious. I agree.
Krampus is a complete sociopath, and
Yep.
maybe psychopath, and
Who's gonna touch his
hilarious.
balls?
Yeah, yeah, because they want to
I'll
put
do
the
it.
balls in the nutcracker, and he's like,
Yep.
"I don't want. I didn't just sign up for touching his balls. I'll scoop his brains out, but I'm not touching his balls." And then and who's going to touch his balls? And Krampus just raises his hands and goes, "I'll do it."
I'll do it.
But so Krampus is making them all give the grandmother presents, and
Yep.
Morgan's like, "I have a present for you," and he pulls out a
A script.
notebook, like a pitch
A
deck,
pitch deck. That's what
essentially.
it is. They
Uh,
call this a pitch deck. And he
yeah,
like hands it to her.
it's so funny, and you're like, this guy's just ridiculous. And then there's a moment where you're like, oh, he's gonna be redeemed because he's kind of like kicks ass for about
Yep.
30 seconds or less. And
Yep.
he jumps through he abandons them after he's done it, jumps through the window, and is promptly murdered. And
I like how he said parkour after he rolled over the couch. He
Yep.
doesn't roll over the couch.
Parkour.
And then as he's going right before he gets murdered, when he's running down this hill, he just barrel roll. Like he says barrel roll as
Yep.
he tumbles down the hill and stands up. Hi guys.
Knowing that he's supposed to be Mark Wahlberg is even better, because I come from Massachusetts. People are obsessed with the man, but I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I do think Mark Wahlberg's been in some fun movies where he's funny.
Yeah.
And he was decent in The Departed. And like he's been decent in a couple movies, but like people are like, he's a great actor. I'm like, no, he's just well cast sometimes. Like
his top two movies for me are The Other Guys.
Oh yeah.
No. The Other Guys and Pain and Gain.
I haven't seen Pain and Gain, but Other Guys is great.
Holy shit. Pain and Gain literally makes fun of who he is in the best way possible. And it's Dwayne Johnson as an idiot.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious casting.
Nice.
And I, just like you, I grew up in the Northeast, not as much Massachusetts as you did. So I enjoy how much Mark Wahlberg has like this fandom and this love. But no, I don't think he's a good serious actor. I think he's a hilarious actor that doesn't take himself so seriously that he can't be joked on.
Oh, he absolutely takes himself too seriously. He might be able to be in comedies.
Nah. I'm going to push back on that. Then how is he in Pain and Gain? That he literally gets himself made fun of.
I don't know, but like,
and The Other Guys, that's a comedy. Ted, that's a comedy.
He's
not funny for being funny. He's funny for being himself.
He may be good at being funny, but he is, like, people have said numerous times that he has no ability to laugh at himself. They did a thing on Andy Samberg played him on Saturday Night Live.
I have not seen this. I apologize.
Andy Samberg played him on Saturday Night Live, and they did this bit about him going to farm animals and being like, "Hey, how's your mother?" And apparently Mark Wahlberg was so bothered by it that he was like, "Do people think that I'm not funny? Like, I should go do it." Like, he was like Kanye about the fish sticks. Like, he is like that level of like he can't wrap his brain around it, and he doesn't have a sense of humor about himself. He
have not heard that lore.
He recognizes, yeah.
I have not heard that lore. I just think that he, yes, can take himself too seriously, but let's be real. He named a restaurant after himself that isn't exactly successful.
Oh,
let's
and people
start with that.
Have you been there before?
No, and I have no desire.
I went to, so the one that was in Raleigh for a while was better because like everyone in Massachusetts is just like lol to him, and so I like went to the first one, and I was like, "This is." Have you had Salisbury steak?
Yeah,
it's like a Salisbury steak hamburger. I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. Why is it? And I was like, why do people love this? I'm like, oh, because Mark Wahlberg. So and and they
holy shit.
and people kept talking about it for years. No, the one I had was at the Logan Airport. That's where I had it, not the
Okay.
downtown Raleigh. I was stuck at Logan one point, and it was like I need something quick, and Wahlburgers is going to
So
be
you go
quicker
to
than
Wahlburgers?
like the steakhouse that they have there or whatever in that
Yeah.
terminal. And I get it. I'm like, this is significantly better than the first time I had it, but it's not like it's no like better than Shake Shack, right? Like, so anyway, off of the topic of Mark Wahlberg, because I could go on for a long time about how I
About
just
how much you don't
don't.
like him?
It's not even that I don't like him, although I don't. It's more that it's one of those things where it's like, you know how like people will hate the Patriots because their fans suck, or the Yankees because their fans suck, even though you're like, like there's
It's
those
why
teams.
no, fair. It's why the Red Sox are the worst team in baseball to me, no matter how
Right.
well they perform. It's
Right.
because I cannot fucking stomach Massachusetts and Pennsylvania sports fans. Penguins,
They're the same people. They're the
Eagles,
same.
like
Mark Wahlberg's fans and Red Sox fans is not a Venn diagram. It's a circle. It's one circle.
it's a circle.
And so like it's not even. It's I don't like him, but like ultimately the reason I just is that they're all so obsessed with him, and I'm like, he's not a good actor.
I was about to say, so they're looking at the person, not the work,
and
they're
we
looking
have so many good
it.
actors. We got John Krasinski. We got Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Ben Affleck's not a great actor, but he's a decent actor and a good director.
He's more decent than Wahlberg is.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Matt Damon is a great actor.
Yeah.
Amy Poehler, if you want to go comedic, if you want she's from Burlington. Like there's so many, and we have to focus on him because he can't get rid of the accent. Like, ugh. Anyway, this isn't a Mark Wahlberg hate.
The Departed, Phatad, The Departed.
All right, let's get to the next before I keep going about Mark Wahlberg.
You Massachusetts hating motherfucker.
I saw some podcast where a guy was talking shit.
Some podcast talking shit.
He had like a Star Wars Van Gogh shirt on, and I just didn't get it. Why does he hate me?
I didn't get it. Why does he hate me? I don't. Do I talk to animals like that?
Just so you know, like that's not a great impression. That is the best Mark Wahlberg I can do.
That might be all he deserves, says Mike.
Yeah.
I already watch this annually. It's not just even one time per year.
Mm-hmm.
It has genuine lasting power, mostly for me, and this is shallow, I understand. It has lasting power for me because it doesn't have too many era cliches or callbacks to a very, very specific popular thing, time, or person that are going to allow it to outlast its welcome a little bit. But because
that's fair.
I specifically like it, I'm going to enjoy it. I can't say the same for the Santa Claus. I almost can't say the same for Elf. Elf has a lot of very specific era callouts, and it lasts mostly because of the cast. I can't say the same about Violent Night. It's going to last because of the content. Long after David Harbour is no longer Hopper, which at the end of January he won't be, because that's when the final episodes of the 5th season of Stranger Things are going to air. Like he's going to do some movies after that. It's obvious. He's good. He's a big enough actor. He can land real stuff. He was just on the Game Awards last night, introducing a category. So it's not that he doesn't have star power now. It's that this movie would have been just as good if it was just some rando. I mean that. It could have been just some random dude that acts like David Harbour, and it would have been good. That's why I appreciate this for lasting, and it's got my seal of approval because it's not so specific to the year it was made or the era it was made.
That's a good point that I didn't think of, which is I'm trying to think about if there was what the technology was. Obviously, there was lots of walkie-talkies. Walkie-talkies are a little more era-proof, like to some extent. Like
but the walkie-talkie was a narrative device.
Right.
It wasn't a technology-specific thing. It was a narrative device.
It's more era-proof than it's an iPhone, or
Oh,
there was
fair,
a I
fair.
watched I
Okay.
watched a YouTube video a few years ago, in the last few years, where someone was like talking about how we depict text messaging on screen, and how
Oh, yeah.
there hasn't been a clear winner on what's the best way yet.
Yeah,
So
there has. It's
eventually,
Apple.
no,
The
no, like
Apple message noise and the way those bubbles hit is the quintessential way to show it. What do you
no,
mean?
I don't mean like you're over the shoulder looking at someone's phone. I mean like you're walking down the street and a text message pops up on screen. Do we do it as a bubble? Do we just show the text? Like there were this
Oh,
point,
sorry.
and they were saying like eventually we're going to figure out like this is the way everybody does it now,
Yeah.
and the way that the other ways that were experimented with are going to look weird to everybody because of that. And so like there's these things that come along with technology where they're where they're like, oh, it's the like phaser gun kind of effect of like, here's a thing that we think is going to be, not so much that
Yeah.
because that's a futuristic thing, but like here's a new technology, DVD versus laser disc, like what, when you're making a movie, like don't make a movie about one or the other until one is clearly one.
Yeah.
And so
The,
like
the
there
only thing
are,
that yeah, the only thing that
so
dated
in
this film was the wrapped video games. Because
yeah,
even when this film was made in 2022, the
yeah,
sale of digital licenses for video games had already very much taken over the landscape. So
yeah,
that was really the only thing. But no child who's like your kid's age now is never going to have seen a jewel case of a video game. He's
right. We
held
still
them
buy
before.
them most of the time because we don't want to keep all the storage on the device. So
Exactly.
you have, yeah,
So that's the only mildly dating thing that
yeah,
happened in here. Everything else is
yeah,
uniformly going to do 5 to 10 years in the future.
yeah. All right. So you recommend the movie.
Yeah.
I recommend it. I don't know that I'll be watching it every year. That is dependent on Sarah and Logan. I would watch it again though, for sure. Like I would,
Yeah.
like if they both wanted to next year, I'd be like, yeah, let's watch it again. Like I'm down.
Hmm. Agreed.
I enjoyed it a lot. It was, so when we get to ratings, you'll see. But I thought it was a very enjoyable movie
Hmm.
while being a pretty good movie. So, all right, should we get to
I mean,
ratings?
yeah, ratings wise, perfect segue. Out of the uh, 11 movies we've watched, this is one of only 4 times I've given this level of fun and watchability.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at what movies got this, it's all kinds of different genres.
Yeah,
So it's not that we're genre whores or specifically high ranking to a specific style. No, we're genuinely giving these ratings as a way that you all, our audience, can somewhat liken to yourself. So
yeah,
I gave it an 8 for fun and watchability because, as you and I have depicted, it really is that damn fun. It's
yeah. It is.
like I want to hang out with these people and hear them talk jokes over drinks. I
Yeah,
want to watch David Harbour be a surly, upset, disenfranchised Santa Claus, and I want to hear him talk about it. These characters have some empathy isn't the right word. They have some call outs to wanting to know more about them, which to me adds to the fun of a film is when I want to know more about them and I'd watch a sequel of this film, which by the way, Violent Night 2 is currently already lit. So it's
oh,
going
is
to
it?
happen it's going to happen at some point. So
Did they get David Harbour back? Because I don't want to see it without him now.
as far as I can tell, the director, which is
Oh, it's going to be next
Tommy.
December.
Yep. So
David Harbour's back.
Tommy did get it greenlit. It is going to be David Harbour.
Do you see who's playing Mrs. Claus? Kristen
No.
Bell.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Oh, I'm excited. We're gonna have to watch this again next year for as a lead in for Violent Night 2, and you and I can
Jared
go see Violent Night
Harris,
2.
Joe. Oh God, Joe P. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Okay, no, good point. Good point. All right.
So you gave it an 8 for watchability. Quality. What'd you give it?
Quality for me is a 7 because I, as a film fan and less of a filmmaker, I don't see the same level of criticisms to the things that you pointed out. Like, for example, when you talked about seeing her face in the perfectly framed frost on the window, my heart immediately said, "Oh, that's so perfect. Why are you criticizing it?" And then you gave a scope that I thought, okay, no, you're right. It would have worked better if that played out that
Yeah.
way. So you gave it a
So you're
different
saying I'm
rating than I
always
did.
right?
I'm saying you're more right than me when it comes to quality. You're less
Okay.
right than me on everything else.
Good.
So yeah, so quality is a 7 because there are definite times I felt it was too padded. My general film fan like view of it is you could have shortened this to 90 minutes and gotten more impact, or if you're
Mm,
gonna keep me for 119, you need to flesh out Nickamund more. You need to liken him to Santa a little harder. You need to give me more of Scrooge's backstory so I have a little more empathy when he loses his head after going up a chimney. Like,
yeah.
and like I was mentioning, I want to hear 30-second backstories on his crew,
Yeah,
like these
something.
little right, these little things that would have cemented the quality a little more from the writing standpoint,
Hmm.
so that when these individuals got killed, I thought, oh man, that's just like how he died. He dreamed of that as a kid, or even more
Hmm.
like, oh, he wanted a star as his Christmas present, and he got stabbed in the eye with it. Like little fun joke callbacks could have even taken place, but
Yeah.
because it was just random bad dudes, an Eastern European woman, guns, guy who likes to touch balls, angry Hispanic man. There's your angry.
Yeah.
There's your villains. Like, yeah, it could have been
Yeah.
fleshed out more.
Yes, and that's why I gave mine the same quality rating. So
Well, you gave it
I
one
did.
point lower.
I mean, yeah. 1 point. So I went 8 for fun and watchability. This was awesome. It was a ball. Those things that you talked about would also make it just a little more like fun for me. Like so,
Agreed.
like because I do think that in the fun watchability, reason I didn't get a 9 or a 10 is that like that I don't like exposition. It is boring to me. And that is part of the problem I had with it. It's also a quality problem, I think. So like to me,
Fair.
it was there. I mean, like literally when he started going on the exposition rant about his childhood and like, I hate Christmas, and like I was just like, all right, like I
Yeah, we
wanted to
we
fast
we knew
forward.
this already. Like we
I
knew it
wanted to fast
already from
forward.
when you
So that's
started.
why. So and it didn't really fill in anything for me. So
Yeah.
that's why I was like, not a 10 watchability wise. I was not wrapped in my seat the whole time,
No.
but good enough.
Agreed.
A 6 on quality because I think that like those things should be tightened up. The writing wise, I do think while I loved everything that they did with Nickamund and with David Harbour's character, I would like to see a little more. But I didn't think they did anything bad. They just didn't do enough.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
and and ultimately, yeah, the quality. I mean, a 6 is pretty. I would love to make a 6. You know,
I was about to
so.
say, if I could have 6 on a tech scale as like an editing or a technology kind of focus in a film, like for me, F1, speaking of movies with an actor we already spoke about, F1 I saw in the theaters, technically absolute like landmark masterpiece as far as technology is considered, both on and off screen, in how many very specific use cases technology was implemented.
Mhm.
But as a movie, it's just, oh, it's a sports movie. Oh, it's got a ne'er-do-well, throw caution to the wind hero, and it has a love interest, and it has a naysayer, and it has a super fan, and it
A
has
sayer of nay.
yeah. So like for me, the F1 movie with Brad Pitt, exact opposite of this. Huge tech
Okay.
focus, weak film, which I dislike more.
Okay.
I'd rather, as a film, as an entertainment genre, see this balance. More fun, enough tech that I'm interested, but editing, you could see it as more critical. I can see it as, yeah, but I still want to watch it. And the both of us
Yeah.
gave it the same rating.
Yep.
For example, this isn't a
Oh yeah.
Christmas story, which you gave a 1.
Yes. For watchability.
For watchability, right?
All right. So next week we're gonna wrap up Christmas with all three Grinches, and we're going to
Well, I've got
compare
a
and
lot to
contrast
watch.
them.
I've got a lot to
Yes.
watch.
Luckily the new one and the old one are both short. I don't remember how long the Jim Carrey one is,
The
but
Jim Carrey
I
one's, I think,
think
the longest runtime.
that makes sense. It's the only live action one.
True.
The original is like 40 minutes or something. I don't think it's even feature length. But yeah, we're gonna do that as
It's
kind of a
animated
Christmas.
short, animated long.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that for our Christmas episode, and then we will round out the month with Tick Tick Boom, which apparently is about New Year's, which is cool. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you for watching. If you want to watch along with us, we always tell you what's coming out. And we would, comment and let us know what we should do next year for Christmas movies. I think, spoiler alert, we'll be doing Violent Night 2 if it comes out
We will
next
be
year.
doing Violent Night too, because I won't give you a choice, because I liked it a little
Yes.
more than you.
Yeah.
Guys, we appreciate you
Um,
coming along in our story. We like that you're here every month. We enjoy the comments you guys are leaving on YouTube. Please keep giving us
yeah.
feedback. We like it. This has been, for Mike and I, one of the most enjoyable projects the two of us have worked on. And we
Yeah.
like that you have been engaging with us. We appreciate the growth and we appreciate the eyes on the work that we do. It matters.